So now the second group we want to talk about in Tamil Nadu. First group was the Dravidian identity politics. Second, Breaking India force, the church. So tell us.
It's unbelievable, the growth in the last 15-20 years. There are hamlets in Tamil Nadu where there is practically no Christians. But you will find 10-12 churches there in and around. And particularly the New Age churches, the Mormons, the Assembly of God and Pentecostal
type.
All this phenomenal growth. If you take a car and drive from Tamil Nadu on the East Coast Road up to Pondicherry, every alternate...
Yes, I've seen that.
You will find a church actually.
Church everywhere.
Church.
Lot of land being taken.
Plenty.
With foreign money and to buy and put church.
Yes. See, many of the land grant given around 1993, 94 and other thing. 100 years is over. 99-year lease. Most of that should be actually got back by the government.
You mean 1893?
1890.
Yes.
In that period, so many were given, including the Christian colleges and other things. All that lease is over. Government has not done anything. And many reports suggest all India basis.
So were these leases given by the state or the central government?
British government.
So the successor to that is India.
India.
The Republic of India.
Yes.
So the central government can do something.
They should do actually, but nothing has been.
That's an important point some activists should take up, that the British gave these 100-year leases to all the church, so much of the real estate, and the government of India should say, okay, the lease has expired, 100 years over, we'd like to take it back. And come up with some kind of a popular use of it land.
Correct.
Come up with the use which is going to help the masses and not some big powerful church.
All India level, lot of data is there. Tamil Nadu level also. It is surmised the church is the single largest holder of real estate
other than
in Tamil
the
Nadu.
government. No, a non-government is the largest.
Larger. No, railways also hold, but church it appears is the number one.
Yes.
Including government in Tamil Nadu.
On all India.
All India also.
Published many times is second after the government.
Government, defense.
Even when you take military and airports and railways and all that, the after all of that, the next is church.
Very interesting actually. There are something like 27 channels for propagating Christianity.
TV channels.
TV channel.
In Tamil Nadu.
In Tamil Nadu. In Tamil. They have left and right given the licenses or something. I have the list actually. And that is not, so many are not even required actually. And many of them are propagating practically rubbish in the sense, some people come and fall down and one fellow will come and hit him and he will get okay and he say I am cured of cancer and then he will walk away. This is what is happening. The film industry, the influence of church is phenomenal today. Practically they are controlling it actually, what you may loosely call the religion of love, ROL I call him. The religion of peace we will come to a bit later. They control the film industry. Film industry, you cannot today take a film even mildly deriding the church or priest or anything. Hindu gods are okay, that's for game. They do all sorts of ridicule and other things, but not religion of love. So that is one. Second is, they are also got huge support from the channels, television channel. For instance, so much news is coming about globally about the the pedophile and sexual issues of various church group. Nothing is covered in Tamil channels. This is very, very important.
Total blackout.
Total blackout, as if the world doesn't exist for that. But if there is some temple priest or some small misdemeanor, that is blown out of proportion and debates are conducted on a regular basis. This is see, in the case of religion of love, there is a very interesting issue. If somebody is a Muslim, you can easily identify as a Muslim because his name tells you. He has to be a Rahman, Muhammad, Vaidyanathan cannot be a Muslim by definition. Right? But in the case of religion of love,
they have Hindu names.
I can be Vaidyanathan, the name will be Anand, but he is actually Anand Peter or Anand, or even no Peter, Anand only.
Right.
He will be a Christian. So this is something very, very interesting. So for instance, there is one actor called Vijay. He is actually Joseph Vijay. But if you tell Joseph Vijay, people get angry. He is Vijay only. So he comes with all this Chandan and other thing in the films and spews dialogue against most of these Hindu gods, and he says, why do you waste your money on the temples? You can as well build a urinal or something like that. So this is one major issue, and this issue is more prominent in government jobs and other thing, because you can get converted. You can continue to be what one can call a scheduled caste. You will never say that you have become converted. So the name is very, very misleading. So significant number of people in the Tamil film industry actually belong to Christian faith. And activists, as we come later, there is one activist, he calls himself Thiru Murugan Gandhi. Thiru is Sri or Mr. Murugan Gandhi. He is actually Daniel Gandhi. Not many people even aware of it actually. Many of these people are actually belonging to church groups. So they are sent in these type of names, and then they propagate their ideas and other things. So the hold of church is becoming very, very important. Some statistics suggest last year alone, Tamil Nadu alone got something of the order of nearly 2,000 crores for these various NGOs. Basically, they are doing the church activity. The critical factor is, traditionally it is believed something like 5 to 10%, maximum 20% of your NGO activity you can spend on fixed assets, like buying a car or putting on a building or something. But you find in many cases here it is the reverse. 80% is spent on these things, and only 20% for the purpose for which it was obtained. Like your, for instance, they say they will distribute milk powder among children or various type of thing. So the amount of funding which is coming has not dried actually. It's still coming. Some of them have been denied under FCRA, but what they do is they immediately register under
different name.
A different name.
Right.
Like your, your Islamic jihadis, one thing is banned in Pakistan, another one immediately comes. He also is. So the world of church is extremely powerful. The Dravidian are all influenced by the church, significantly actually. They are also influenced more, they are more out of fear for the jihadis. But in the case of church, more out of love. They even criticize the Hindu customs and festivals in the Christian function. There are three major fellows. One is this Lazarus Mohan. He goes around, he collects something like 2-3 lakh crowd for his, it's not a sermon actually, he gives a speech where he attacks, various saffron forces and other things. He actually prayed before election that Jesus should save Tamil Nadu, that it doesn't become, and then he actually thanking meeting he held everywhere. So that is the one fellow. Then there is one Esra Sargunam. He is actually the DMK's Asthana Vidwan. He is the bishop, he is called. He recently gave a talk where he says there is nothing called Hinduism according to him. This whole thing is bogus. There are no Hindus or anything. There are only Brahmins and Dravidians. He says if anybody says Hindu, he told openly in Tamil, you go and punch his face. And that fellow will have blood and or something is distorted. Then you don't worry. You come to the father and ask for expiation. You say that, sorry, I have done this, and you do this, he says. He just told it matter of fact. Then there is another one which is more, associated with DMK for a long period of time, who is actually LTT funding also. He is actually, case is pending against him by the FBI for arms smuggling in US. He is active in Tamil Nadu. He is closely associated with Kanimozhi, who is the DMK Karunanidhi's daughter. Strictly speaking, not Karunanidhi's daughter, Karunanidhi's friend's daughter. That's what he used to call her. This is my wife, that is my friend. He used to have 2 women. So she and he started together what is known as the Renaissance or of the Tamil culture, which according to them is not Hindu culture. So this is and the church also participated actively in a conference conducted by one of these fellows called Thiruma. He is very, and actually yesterday he has given a speech. I don't know how this thing, he says, he is an MP now, elected member of, he says, I can sit in Delhi and the whole southern part of Tamil Nadu can burn. I can make it burn. And then trains can be damaged and stopped, another thing. He conducted a major conference called How to Destroy Sanatana Dharma.
Wow.
In Trichy. He conducted. And the church actively participated in that, and DMK and Kanimudi and others also participated. Except many of them were not able to properly pronounce Sanatana Dharma. Some of them were against Sanada, some of them were against Dharma, highly confusing. They were not, they actually wanted to say that Hindu religion, but Hindu openly cannot be told by them. So Sanatana Dharma, they took it up, and so church is very active in that. The only thing one is interested in the future, is how the church and the jihadi forces are going to balance each other in the context of the Easter bombing in Sri Lanka. Because Sri Lanka, there is a huge amount of anti-Islam feeling which has come out after that 200 plus people died.
Right.
But that is still not percolated into this place. This place still there is a coordination and cooperation.
Thank you for this update on what the church is up to. Thank you very much.